Hello student, myself is Dr. S. A. Khairnar, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Botany, MEP Samaj, Srimati Vimlaben Tejugaya Khimji College, Devrali Camp. Student, in this session we will going to learn a angiospermic plant families. This is a paper first from your SYBSc semester 3rd. The title of paper is Angiosperm Taxonomy and Plant Ecology. In this paper, you have to learn the different systems of plant classification, and also you have to learn the studies of family. In the different system, in the recap, I will summarize you the earlier topic from this paper. In the recap, we were studied the artificial system, natural system, phylogenetic system and APG system. The artificial system of plant classification was a first system or first effort in the classification world. This system was developed by the famous taxonomist Carl van Linnaeus. Later on, after Carl van Linnaeus artificial system, the natural system were developed by the British botanist Bentham and Hooker. And I will say you that till today this natural system of plant classification is in use. Whatever thing you are going to learn in the practical purpose for the identification and studies of plant families, you have to follow the natural system of plant classification. After natural system of plant classification in the plant world, also the phylogenetic system was developed by the different taxonomists. In the phylogenetic system, in this we were seen the system of Engler and Plantum, and recently there is a APG system, that is what angiosperm and phylogenetic system of plant classification. In this session, we will going to see the systematic position of the plant family according to Bentham and Hooker system of plant classification. In the systematic position, we have to classify the plants from their division, subdivision, class, subclass, order and families. So for this purpose, we will going to follow the natural system of Bentham and Hooker classification, because in this system, whatever flowering plants were and are present on the earth, that were classified properly, and this system is a very good system for following the to follow the practical purpose. Also, we want to see the salient feature of the particular plants of the particular family. Then we also study the floral formula, and we also study the floral diagram. You know how to study a plant family. There is a standard format for studying the plant family. Any plant family may contain the large number of plants, and when the plant is given to you, that will be described or study systematically. So for that, the standard format for studying the plant family is that you have to describe a particular plant from their habitat, then stem, leaves, inflorescence, flower, then parts of flower like calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium and fruit. After that, you have to form a floral formula. For formation of the floral formula, you will going to use a different standard symbol, and using that different standard symbol, you will coin or you will develop a floral formula. Floral formula is nothing but a symbolic representation of the flower of a particular family. Then floral diagram is nothing but a diagrammatic representation of the flower of a particular family. You have to draw the floral diagram. While drawing a floral diagram, you have to observe the different characters of the plant. When you will going to describe the plant as a habitat, in what habitat the plant is grown, then habit, what kind of habit that plant possesses. So there are 4-5 kinds of habits like herbs, shrubs, trees, climber, lianas. Then you have to describe the stem of a particular family, what kind of stem is there, whether it is erect, prostrate, branched, unbranched, like that. Then you have to describe the leaf, what kind of leaf possesses the plants of that particular family. Basically, there are 2 kinds of leaves, simple leaves and compound leaves. You have to observe whether the plant possesses the simple leaves or compound leaves, and accordingly you have to describe the leaves further. Whether the leaves are sessile, then petiolate, whether entire, serrate, acute, having a reticulate or parallel venation or what. Then after leaf, these are the habitat, leaves and stem are the vegetative and morphological characteristic feature. Whereas we also want to see or learn the reproductive characteristics. In the reproductive characteristic, first we have to study or see the inflorescence of a particular plant families. In the inflorescence, there are basically two kinds. We have to identify what kinds of inflorescence is present in the particular plants of a particular family. Then after identification of inflorescence, you have to go for the study of a flower. You have to see or observe the flower, and you have to note down the different observation while describing the flower. While describing the flower, you have to see whether the flower is unisexual or bisexual, complete or incomplete, actinomorphic or zygomorphic, pedicellate or sessile, bracteate or ebracteate. Like this character you have to observe and get it note down. Then you have to describe a particular flower. After description of the flower, you have to describe each whorl of a flower. From outside to inside, you will describe the different whorl of a flower. The outermost whorl of a flower, that is a calyx, and how many sepals are present, what kind of arrangement that sepals are having. After sepals, what kinds of corolla is there, how many petals are there, what is their arrangement, this thing you have to describe. Then inner next to petals or next to corolla, there is a essential whorl called as a androecium. You have to count the number of stamens, how many stamens are there, what kind of arrangement of stamens is there in the flower of a particular plant of a particular family. Then lastly, you have to describe the gynoecium, how many carpels are there, whether the superior or inferior, what kinds of placentation is there. All these things you have to describe in the particular plant. Then lastly you also have to see the any common examples belongs to that family and their economic importance. In that common examples, you have to write down the botanical name, their common name, and what is the use of that particular plant. The learning objectives of this particular session, that is studies a family, that is to know the systematic position of the family Annonaceae, to study the salient feature of family Annonaceae, then to study the floral formula and floral diagram of Annonaceae, and to study the example and their economic importance. So family Annonaceae is one of the family of the phanerogams or angiosperm. This family, the plants of this family shows the tropical distribution. Worldwide, there are about 128 genera and 2106 species are found distributed worldwide. Whereas from this number, 24 genera and 100 species occurs in our country. The family Annonaceae has a good economic importance. Some of the plants of this family are important, and that's why they are cultivated as a edible fruit plant. Now we will see the systematic position. In the systematic position, we will see how, according to Bentham and Hooker system of plant classification, this particular family is classified. This particular family belongs to a division phanerogams because the plant possesses the flowers and also bears a seed. The subdivision is angiosperm because flowering plants, seeds are enclosed in the fruit and ovules are enclosed in the ori. Then this particular family belongs in a class dicotyledon because there are two cotyledons are present in the seed and the leaves with a reticulate venation. Subclass Polypetalae because there are free petals in the flower. Series Thalamiflorae because many stamens are there in the flower and flower is hypogynous. Order Raniales, because this flower of this family is having the Apocarpus carpel, means carpels are free, and family Anonaceae because the flower is tetramerous and the fruit is Etaerio of berries. This is what a systematic position of this particular family according to Bentham and Hooker system of plant classification. Now we will see a salient feature of this particular family. In the salient features, the plants of this family shows the different kinds of habit. The plants may be herbs, shrubs, small size tree or climbers. The leaves of the plants mostly simple. They don't have any kind of stipules, and that's why they are exstipulate. But the leaves shows the presence of glands. That glands are present embedded on the surface of leaves, and that's why the leaves are called as a glandated leaves. And because of these glands present in the leaves, these particular plants are emits the particular kind of fragrance, and that's why these plants are having a typical fragrance or smells. The flower of the plants are mostly hypogynous, means there is a superior ori, though it is a dicotyledon, but the flower is trimerous. There is a whorl of three sepals, 3 petals, and spirocyclic. If more petals or more sepals are there, they are arranged spirocyclic manner. The sepals are 3 to 6. They are persistent and they shows the volvate kind of estivation. They are generally green in color, whereas petals are 6. Inside they are present to the inner side of a sepal. They are in the 2 whorl. They may also be sepaloid or fleshy white, and they also shows the volvate estivation. Volvate estivation means the petals or sepals segments are arranged one after the another. There is a no overlapping. In this particular family's flower, the stamens are many and they are present on the extended conical thalamus. They are present at the base of the extended conical thalamus and they are spirally arranged. These stamens are having a somewhat larger size anther lobes and very short stalk, and their connective is also enlarged. Also, there are many carpels in the flower of this particular families. The carpels are arranged on the top of a conical extended thalamus, and they are also arranged spirally. The carpels are apocarpus, means they are free, and they are present spirally on the convex thalamus, that is what a extended part of a thalamus. The fruit belongs to this family, or the fruit of plants of this family is aggregate type. That fruit is also called as a Etaerio of berries. The fruit is aggregate because many carpels and they are present freely. Each carpel present a one fruitlet, and that's why all fruitlets are gathered and they form a Etaerio or aggregate kind of fruit, and this each fruitlet is becomes a ripe, and that's why it is called as a Etaerio of berries kind of fruit. The seeds are with a ruminant endosperm. You can see in the image the flower is with a petals, and at the center there is a extended conical thalamus, and at the base of this extended conical thalamus the androeciums are present, and at the top the gynoeciums or carpels are present. Now we will see the floral formula and floral diagram of this particular family. The floral formula is a symbolic representation of a flower of a particular family plants. There may be more or less differences according to species, but there are somewhat similarities also there. While forming or while developing the floral formula, we can use the standard symbol. Now we will read this floral formula. You can read this floral formula. The first letters showing the BR. BR indicates that the flowers are bracteates. And we can have the next term, that is a circle and having a cross. This sign indicates that the flower is actinomorphic, means the flower is symmetrical and it is actinomorphic. You can cut from the any plane, you will get a two equal halves. The flower is bisexual, calyx 3, they are free, polysepalous and valvate. Corolla petals 3 plus 3, they are present in a two whorl, they are also free, polypetalous and valvate estivation. A indicates stamens are many, they are also free. G indicates carpels are many, and the underline below the G, that indicates the each carpel is superior in nature. So this is what a floral formula of this particular family. Now you can see the lower diagram, that is a floral diagram. This floral diagram is nothing but a diagrammatic representation of a flower of a particular family. We can observe the flower and diagrammatically we can draw the diagrammatic picture of a flower, and that diagrammatic picture or representation of a flower is called as a floral diagram. Here you can see the outermost whorl that showing the three sepals. Each sepal is lie one next to one another and they are free, they are not attached to the each other, and that is why the sepals are three, they are valvate and they are polysepalous. Next to sepal, again there are three whorls of a petals. They are also present, or they are also lie one next to one another. There is no any kind of overlapping, they are free, and also inner side to this there are again next whorl of a petal. So you can see both the whorls of petals are free from one another, and that is why we can say the petals are free, they are having a valvate estivation. Next to petals there are many numbers of stamens are there, that stamens are present at the base of extended conical thalamus. You can see the stamens are present up to the half of a conical thalamus, and then next to that half or at the upper side there are presence of the carpels. Carpels are also many, they are also free, they are apocarpous. Stamens are also free, they are also many in number. At the base of the floral diagram there is a single leaf like appendage is shown, and that is what a bract. This indicates that the flower is bracteate. At the top there is a spot, that spot is a mother axis and that is a what point of emergence of a flower. Now we will see the examples with the economic importance. This family, as I have already told you, that this family includes a good economically important plants. There are economically important plants like a Ananas camosa. This plant in Marathi called as a sitafal. This is a cultivated edible fruit plant. The fruit of this plant is used throughout the country for their food value. This fruit contains about the 20% of natural sugar, and this food because of this fruit this particular plant of this family is cultivated for obtaining the fruit. The another plant, that is a Annona reticulata, that is called as a ramphal. This is also a same plant, the edible fruit plant. Both these are the same genera, but difference is only that the one is having a reticulate or tuberculate fruit and another is having a smooth fruit. This fruit is also used for the edible fruit purpose. Then next plant is Polyalthia longifolia. In Marathi this plant is called as a Ashoka. This plant is a symmetrical plant. This plant is having somewhat aesthetic value because of its symmetrical or pyramidal look. This plant is used for the symmetrical plantation. We can plant this plant in the rows for maintaining the symmetry in front of the offices or college buildings, institution, government institutions, and we can maintain or we can plant the row. You can see the first image, that is what a Polyalthia longifolia or Ashoka plant. Then Atrabotris odoratissima, this is also one of the garden plant. You can see the third image. This is what called as a Hirwa chapa, and the flowers are fragrant, and that's why this plant is planted in the garden. The another plant that is also a garden plant, Cananga odorata. This plant is also used in the plantation in the garden. You can see this family economically useful for the edible fruits, and also the different byproducts are obtained from their fruits. For example, the custard apple or sitafal seeds are used to extract a seed oil, and that oil has a different uses. Also, the custard apple powder is obtained, and that powder has a uses in the confectionery industry. And also the fruits of plant like a ramphal and sitafal has a edible value. In this way, today we completed this. This is a first family of angiosperm family, Annonaceae. Thank you.